Hello, everyone. This is Mary Michelle with One Chic Mama TV, and I'm excited to be here with you again this afternoon. I want to welcome you to my third show. Can you believe it? I've done 3 shows, and I'm really excited to hear your feedback and get your comments, and I appreciate everything everybody has had to say about the show. I've loved doing it and look forward to bringing you some great content today. To start off with, I've got a quote for you from Karl Lagerfeld. And I don't know if you know, Karl Lagerfeld is actually the head of Chanel. Love Coco Chanel, but Karl Lagerfeld took over, and he has great style. He's known for his ponytail, his fan, and his gloves. But his quote is, "I want everyone to wear what they want and mix it in their own way. To me, that is what is modern." And I love that quote because my philosophy is about being yourself. Just be you. Be who you are. Express your style in the way that works for you. Now, as you know, if you've followed me or you've heard me speak or you've watched the show before, you know I'm all about cultivating your own, what I call your signature style. It's not about comparing yourself to anyone else, but it's about asking yourself, what's special about me and how can I play that up to the hilt? So think about what your style looks like. Think about what makes you happy. Your signature style is not wearing what I call your shoulds. It's wearing what you love and wearing what helps you to feel more connected to yourself. Now, before we dive deep into our topic today, which is wearing black making you fat, I want to tell you about a wonderful new product. We have a great sponsor today called EOS, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But they create this fabulous lip gloss. I love the packaging. It almost looks like a little egg. But it's organic, it's petroleum-free, and it's enriched with shea butter and jojoba oil. So it's really good for your skin. I love it because it smells good, it feels good, and it's really easy to put on. So they're our sponsor today. I actually have a set of 3 EOS lip balms that I want to give away to you. Now, to enter to win these, I want you to go to my Facebook page, facebook.com/onechicmama, and leave me a comment. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you want to see. Tell me what you want me to stop doing. My mom told me today to stop using my hands. I have to tell you, I can't. Sorry. So go to the Facebook page. Let me know what you want to hear more of. I've gotten some great feedback already. Send me a private message if you want to. If you have a topic you think I need to address, because that helps me to understand what you want to hear. Now, today is wearing black making you fat. Yes, I will say I get a little bit in your face when I talk about black. Why? Because everybody, stylists, stores, designers, everybody is telling you to wear black. Because it's easy, it goes with everything, it's flattering, it's seasonless, it travels well. I know all the positives about black. However, what they don't tell you is that black can enhance your wrinkles. Yes, it can make you look older. It can make you look tired. It can drain the color from your face. Now, as we get older, we lose pigment from our skin. So wearing black actually washes us out. Today, I want to talk with you about whether it's making you fat or not and how you can wear it to best effect. I work with a lot of women, and I hear a lot of things. What happens, though, is I start to hear the same things over and over. And I have so many women come to my studio or I get into their closet, and they say, "Michelle, I have a closet filled with black." Yes, that's me. That's not me, but that's them. That's you. It's okay. I'm not here to judge you, but what I am here to do is help you wear color with confidence and help you to ditch the black and find colors that work for you. Now, first of all, let's talk about how black could be making you fat. That sounds crazy. And first of all, you're probably thinking black is slimming. And how could it be making me fat? But what I want to tell you today is that, well, there's a chance that it could, because when you wear black, a lot of times women wear black by default, not with intention. And if you do that, I want you to take note of that. Now, what I mean by that is people wear black because they don't know what else to wear. They walk into a store, they say, hey, I need clothes. They get overwhelmed, they look around, they freak out. Really? And they say, hey, I could go buy another pair of black pants. Seriously, I have been in closets where women have 10, 20, and more pairs of black pants. And the frustrating thing is that actually makes it more complicated to get dressed. Why? Because you have to remember, well, which ones fit? Which ones do I like? Which ones need to be hemmed? Which ones might be a little tighter than the other ones? So you have to think about that. And when you do have to think about that and you can't just quickly go to your closet and pull something out, it takes time. And my goal is to take less time to get dressed. I don't want you to take more time. So honestly, the more clothes you have, whether it's black pants or whether it's a closet filled with color, the more things you have, chances are the longer it's going to take you to get dressed, unless you have a strategy. But let's get back to if it's making you fat. Now, women wear black by default. And what I mean by that is they don't know what else to wear. They don't know any other neutrals. They don't know how to put color together. And I know a lot of women use black as a fallback. I've got a big event coming up, I'll just wear my black pants. Or I've got a special occasion coming up, I'll just wear my little black dress. No, I'm not here to judge anybody. But what I am here to do is to educate and empower you to wear your best colors. And I want you to think about what I'm saying today and how that applies to you. Please don't take this personally. It's not personal. Again, I'm here to educate and empower. I keep saying that. That's my mission. That's my passion. And that's why I'm here. But if black is not your best color and you get up and you put it on head to toe, you pull on your black pants, you put on your black shirt, are you hiding out? Are you covering up? I find that a lot of women who come to me for help, who are ready to take their image to the next level, do so because they're feeling frumpy and because they've gotten into a rut. Now, I know we all get really busy. I'm busy too. I've got 4 kids. I've got a career that I love and I'm passionate about. I am very busy. And I feel sometimes as if I don't have enough time to do what I have to do. But you know what? It takes me no time to get dressed. Sure, I could spend all day in my closet playing around, trying out different combinations. But if I have to be out the door in 5 minutes, I don't stress about what I wear. I know that I've cultivated a wardrobe that works for me. And it's a great feeling. But a lot of women don't know what to wear. So you stockpile black pants, black skirts, black dresses, black shirts. And I want you to think about when you pull that on how it makes you feel. Now, sometimes black can be a form of camouflage. I know a lot of women, when they put on a couple of pounds, I've certainly been guilty of this in the past. You've put on a few extra pounds and you wear black because it's slimming. You're looking for something that's going to visually take pounds off. So you pull on your baggy black sweater, your elastic waist black pants, and you're out the door. Well, do you feel great about it? Probably not. First of all, if it's baggy and it's shapeless, that's not going to take off pounds. That can actually make you look bigger. But the color black can be very draining. It's very somber. It can be very depressing. It's not going to get you excited for the most part. So sometimes when women wear black, they're hiding out. They're not socializing. They're not out walking the dog. They're not out going to networking meetings. They're not going to parties. They're just getting through the day. They're choosing black because it's easy, because it works, or does it? They think it works. And I think a lot of people don't want to have to think about what they wear. But when you're wearing black, if it's big and it's baggy and it's not fitted and it's making you visually look slimmer, you might reach for another dessert. You might reach for another handful of chips. You might go for seconds. And that's not working for you. Now, I'm not here to criticize anybody's eating habits or anything, but what I want you to think about is whether you're hiding out in your clothes. And wearing black can help you or hurt you, actually. It can hurt you when it comes to hiding out. It can actually make it too easy. So what next? What happens if you realize, oh my gosh, I've been hiding out in my black? What do you do? Well, my prescription is a healthy dose of color. Now, so many women come into my studio and they ask me about color, and they say, I'm afraid of color. I don't know how to wear color, and so they stay away from it. But after we talk, after we go through our sessions, we talk a lot about color. And I want to show you real quick. You want to pull up that first slide? Here's a great example of a woman wearing black. Now, I will say she looks fine. She looks fine. I'm not here to criticize her, but I want you to look at her overall. She looks like she might be hiding a little bit of extra weight around the midriff. Maybe she's a little heavy around the thighs, and there's nothing wrong with that. However, the black camouflages. And she might think, hey, I'm actually looking better than she really is. So it can help you to hide your flaws, which is a good thing. Now, I'm going to get to other ways to do that in a few minutes. But I want you to look at the black picture of the woman wearing black compared to the woman wearing the lighter neutral. She's actually wearing what I would call her hair enhancer. And we'll talk about what that is in a few minutes. But she looks so much more alive and more vibrant. And I know the two pictures are very different, but I want you to look in the black. She's drained of color. And in the other picture, she's vibrant, she's vivacious, it's taken to a whole new level. All right, thank you for that. So think about when you put on color, how does it make you feel? Does it drain you of color, or does it light you up? Now, something that I want to share with you today, this is actually my personal color palette and is a wonderful tool to help you understand how to wear color. Now, I'm not here to sell you these today, but what I do want to do is I want to use this as a tool to talk about how to wear color with confidence. Now, these are actually my 40 best colors. And you might look at this and say, oh my gosh, that's a lot of color. How would I ever know how to wear those? Well, I'm going to share a secret with you today. And the secret that I'm going to give away is talking about what I call the Fabulous Five. Now, this is a new concept that I've come up with. Well, actually, I take that back. The concept is not new. The name is new. I've been doing this for years, but I didn't call it the Fabulous Five. I just called it Your Best Colors. But what I've realized I've been doing with my clients over and over and over and over is helping them to pick out their best colors and their best 5 colors and how to build their wardrobe around those 5 colors. So today I want to give you some tips on how to do that for yourself. Now, the first color, the first neutral that I want you to adopt is what I call your new black. Now, why would you need a new black? Well, because black might not be your best color. In fact, I have to tell probably 90 or 95% of my clients that black isn't their best color. And so if it's not, where do you even start? They're dumbfounded. I know when I tell a lot of people, they're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Because they don't know what else. They can't see any other color. It's not that they can't see it. They just can't think, well, if black doesn't work, what in the world am I going to wear? So the first color I want you to think about, actually, let me take just 1 second and say, I want to hear from you. I want your questions about color. And so if you have questions, you can Skype in or sign in to the live chat. Let me know your questions. You can call in 919-518-9773, or you can Skype in at Computers 2K Voice. But I definitely want to hear from you. What are your best questions about color? Because I've got some good answers for you. All right, so your first new key neutral, your first of the Fabulous Five, is what I call your hair enhancer. Now, I don't know if you could see this. This is actually my color palette. This is my hair enhancer. Now, what I mean by enhancer, and I know I've talked about this before, but I wanted to show you today so you get a better understanding of what that means. Your hair enhancer is your hair color, basically. And I will say there's a little bit of leeway around that. It depends on what your hair color is. If you look at my hair color, it's predominantly dark brown. Now, it has lightened up since I've had this done. It's actually not quite this dark, but this is still a great neutral for me. But I can look at my hair and say, hey, I've got highlights. Maybe I could pull out the caramel. Maybe I could pull out the medium brown. And those are going to be hair enhancers for me as well. Now, that's going to be my new black. Now, I still love black. I'm not wearing black today. I'm actually wearing navy today, which is a color that, honestly, I haven't really liked navy. But I wore a navy jacket yesterday. I have on navy today. I think I'm in a phase in my life where I'm just ready for a change. So I want you to think about whether you're ready for a change and how you can incorporate some of these colors. Now, your hair enhancer is a great color for you to adopt as a core, what I call a core color. And what that means is it's going to be core items in your wardrobe. I'm going to do a whole other segment on building a wardrobe down the road. So I won't touch on all of that today. But what I want you to know about color or about your hair enhancer is this is a great color to start from the ground up. Shoes, pants, a suit, a skirt. Least memorable, most neutral. It is a foundational color. It is a core color in your wardrobe. Now, what I mean by that is, and I love talking about color, and I love to joke around about it, but I tell clients, if you're looking at a core color versus what I call a wow color, how you know it's a core color is, could you wear it 5 days in a row? Say if I bought a suit or a pair of pants in this brown, I could wear it 5 days in a row with different jackets, different tops, different shoes, different accessories. Then chances are nobody's going to say, hey, Michelle, you just wore those pants. Because they're like chameleons. They take on the characteristics of what I put with them. They can look a little trendy. They can look a little classic. They can have a whole different flavor depending on what they're with. However, if I were to wear red pants, actually I've got on my red jeans today. In fact, I'll show you I don't know if you can see my red jeans, but see? I love color, but I've got on my red jeans, and I have to be careful about wearing these. Because if I wore these 5 days in a row, people are going to start to wonder if I'm doing my laundry. Yeah. Because they're more memorable. So think of that as a rule of thumb. Could you wear them 5 days in a row? Not that you would. However, that might come in handy if you're traveling. Or is somebody going to remember that and say, hey, Michelle's not doing her laundry? It's up to you. But that's the difference between core colors and wow colors. So the wow colors stand out. They're more memorable. They have impact. They're what bring the spice and the flavor to your wardrobe. Okay, so you've got neutral number 1. What's neutral number 2? Well, it is going to be one of your best core neutrals. And I can't go through all of those right now, but I'm going to use my color palette to give you an example of mine. Now, let's say, because I'm looking for an alternative to black, let's say I choose gray. Let's say a good medium gray. I love gray. I wear gray, some, not that much. You know what? I'm going to choose another neutral because I think for me, that's not the best choice. I'm actually going to choose my eye enhancer. Yes, this is actually my eye color. I don't know if you can tell, but what that means is, I'm sorry, I held up the wrong one. That's my eye enhancer. It is the same color as my eyes. So when I wear this near my eyes, it's going to make my eyes stand out. Now, something interesting, this is not true for everybody. Because I have brown eyes or hazel eyes, I can use my eye enhancer as my second core neutral. If my eyes were blue, the reverse would be true. They would not be a great neutral, but that would be a great wow color. Because it's more memorable. It's not as neutral. So think about whether your eyes are bold, bright, what shade they are. Are they neutral? You want to definitely find a way to wear your eye color no matter what that is. But I want you to determine whether it's a neutral or whether it's a wow color. Because that does make a difference. Okay, I've got my two core neutrals. Now, to find the rest of my fabulous 5, I am going to pick 3 of what I consider to be my personal wow colors. Now, I'm going to show you this, and I'm going to pick them out as we go. I have not predetermined this, but I'm going to pick out some of my favorite colors, and I'm going to show you how fun this can be. All right, turquoise. I love turquoise. I could wear turquoise every single day. Actually, that's not the best shade. I'm going to choose this shade instead. I'm going to choose a violet, and I'm also going to choose a purple. All right, so I have my 2 core neutrals, and then I have my 3 wow colors. Now, do you see with the wow colors? These are brights. These are memorable. These are colors that when I put around my face, they're going to pop. Scarves, tops, jewelry. These are accent colors. These are the colors that bring life to my wardrobe. And I see that purple's getting a little funky on the blue. No, you know what? Because for these purposes, let me choose another color. Let me see if this will work. All right, how's that? No, I don't know if you can see these. Woo, we're having some. Here, let me do this. I'll pick a fuchsia. This is fun. What's going on right now actually is I am in a room with a green screen, a blue screen. And so what happens is when there is anything blue, which I'm surprised my jacket shows up because it's navy. But what happens is when I'm showing you the blue swatches, you don't see them. It's like very mysterious. But let me pick out some new colors for you. Thank you for your patience. This is new to me. I'm not a technical person. I don't get the whole green screen or blue screen thing. So when I'm told I can't show up wearing a turquoise dress or turquoise jacket, I'm not too happy about it. That's okay. We'll make it work. All right, so give me just 1 second. Let me find some colors that will work so that we can proceed. Can you see the green? Okay, we've got fuchsia, we've got green. It's kind of a throwback to my preppy days. I used to be a big, big fan of being preppy. All right, how about these colors? All right, the fuchsia, yeah. Actually, we'll just stick with these. Okay. Okay, no more blue screen. So you get a close-up. I'm going to actually show you the whole palette. See if I can give you a close-up. This is my whole color palette. And it's got my metals in there. It's got all my colors. But here, this is so much fun just to play with color. And it's just, I love playing with color and having a color palette because I can look at this and say, what goes together? And play with it. And I've come up with some great combinations that I would never have come up with before. And I think just being able to visually play with color in a format like this. All right, so these, can you see those? Those are what I call my Fab 5. Those are my Fab 5. Right there. Okay. So now that you understand the Fab 5, I want to talk a little bit about spring trends and how these kind of coordinate with the spring colors for spring 2013. Each season there are new colors that are issued by Pantone that are supposed to be the colors of the season. And when you look at these, actually the colors that I chose correspond with this a little bit. And I want to talk a little bit about, we'll just go through these. Actually, if you can pull that back up, that would be great. Let's talk for just a minute about, I'm going to talk about my wow colors, and I'm going to talk about how you can take that and take the colors that are hot for the current season to help you find your best colors. Now, emerald green is the color for 2013. Now, one thing I will say about emerald, emerald can be worn by a lot of different skin tones. However, it looks best on women, on people with cool coloring. It doesn't mean if you have warm coloring that you cannot wear it, but what it means is that it's not going to be your best green. So what I'd like to say to that, and this speaks to all the colors that are hot this year, is if you want to wear emerald green, but maybe it's not your best, ask yourself, what could I wear that's close to that would better flatter my skin tone? And maybe if you have warm coloring, maybe you want to go with something that has a little bit more yellow in it. Or maybe if you have really dark coloring, you want to go with something a little bit deeper, richer, maybe like a forest green. So ask yourself, what color is going to work best for you? This is a great example of not letting the trends dictate what you wear. In fact, I want to encourage you to never, whether it's color or style or anything, never, ever, ever let the trends dictate what you wear. I want you to know what looks good on you. And the best thing to tell you is to trust your intuition. Now, the emerald green is fabulous. The gray jade, that's an interesting color, and that's going to work better on what I would consider to be a summer season. If your personal color harmony is summer, your coloring is going to be more slightly grayed, slightly muted, and that gray jade is perfect. That also is kind of a neutral. It's not a real bold color. It's not a real memorable color. So you could actually use that as a core item or a core color. Now, the dusk blue is an interesting color. It's not one of my favorite colors, but again, if you have light coloring, light hair, that's going to work great for you. That would be more of an accent color. Tender shoots. Now, that's an interesting name for a color, but it's sort of a chartreuse. Be careful with that color. That is a color that very few people can wear with success. That's going to definitely not look good on people with cool coloring. It's going to wash you out, and it's going to make you look ill. In fact, last week when I interviewed Julianne, she talked about wearing something in a similar color and how she was flirting with somebody, and he asked her if she was not feeling well that day. And I think it was a little bit embarrassing, but she realized years later it was because she was wearing the wrong color. And it makes a difference. Years ago, I remember wearing a shirt in this mustard color. It was like a brownish yellow color, not a good color for me. And I was probably in 6th or 7th grade, and I remember wearing the shirt and feeling like, something's not right, but I couldn't put my finger on it. And I went the whole day feeling like something is just not right. And I realized years later it was the color. I avoid that sort of like spicy brown mustard color. It looks gorgeous on women with warm skin tones. But if you've got cool skin tone or cool coloring like I do, it is just going to wash you out like crazy. Now, lemon zest. Lemon zest is an interesting color. I don't know how you feel about yellow, but when I sit down and talk about color with women, more often than not, women say, I don't like yellow or I don't wear yellow. And I think it's because yellow can be a very difficult color to wear. What I recommend if you're not sure about wearing yellow, bring it in an accessory, in a print, in a scarf, in small doses. Because if you're not used to wearing it or you don't know how, lemon zest can be a very tricky color to wear. Now, that African violet is a gorgeous color. That's actually a color that would be better suited to someone with cool coloring. Now, if you have warm coloring and you want to wear African violet, tweak it a little bit. Wear something that's a little bit more vibrant. That's almost a little bit too muted for you. The linen color is a very interesting color, and I want you to be careful if you want to wear that. It's a beige, and a lot of people would look at that and say, hey, that's beige, it's neutral, everybody can wear it. That is not true. That is never, ever, ever true. There is no color, well, I take that back. There is almost no color that everybody can wear. The one color that I happen to think looks good on everybody, I don't know can you see it? Turquoise. I have seen this color on women with fair skin and fair hair, women with medium coloring, women with dark skin and dark hair, and it is phenomenal. I can't explain it, but it is riveting. And it is honestly, that's going to be my color for 2013, turquoise. Emerald green is the color, turquoise is my color. This is a great example of me saying, hey, what's my signature color? What makes me feel fabulous? In fact, I painted the wall in my office a version of turquoise. It's almost more like a Tiffany blue, but I love it. And everybody that comes into my office says, it's a gorgeous color. And it just makes me happy. But I tell you what, I'm going to be wearing a lot of emerald green this year too. I happen to like emerald, but for some reason, I only have maybe 2 or 3 pieces of clothing in that color. It's a good color, especially with my hair color. I just haven't explored it yet, but you know what? It's everywhere this year. So I'm going to take advantage of that. But getting back to the colors, the Monaco blue, love that color. I tell you what, if you are a brunette, you need that color in your wardrobe. That is what I would call a hair enhancer for brunettes. Or I'm sorry, a hair intensifier, meaning it's opposite your hair color on the color wheel, and it's going to make your hair look fabulous. So wear that in a top, a scarf, a shirt, a jacket, somewhere around your face. Now the poppy red, that's a great color, but red is a very misunderstood color. There is no one size fits all when it comes to red. And that poppy red is more of an orangey red, which is going to be better for a spring or for a fall, or someone who has warm coloring as opposed to cool. So think about whether that's your best red, and if it's not, if you feel that it's too orangey or if it's too light, find your best red. Now my best red is actually a pretty deep red, a pretty bold red, but it has blue undertones. The poppy red has more orange undertones, and I will never, ever wear that. Now the nectarine, that is a beautiful color. One thing I have seen so much of for spring that is kind of surprising are shoes. Shoes and nectarine. Now it's kind of an interesting, subtle accent color, and I would recommend that you wear that if you are a fall or autumn or a spring. If you have warm tones, especially if you have red tones or strawberry blonde hair, that's going to look great on you in a top, a scarf, around your face. I will say the grade jade on the chart, that is also a color I'm going to call mint. I don't like the name grade jade, but that's kind of a mint green, and we're seeing a ton of that this season. That and the nectarine are great colors together, but they're very soft. So think about what colors on this chart speak to you. Do not feel dictated by this. Use this as a suggestion. And ask yourself, what colors do I really want to wear? How could I wear these? And if I'm not crazy about these colors, what variation could I come up with? And this is where I want you to put your own spin on it. And if you might look at these and say, hey, these are too pale for me, they're too dark for me, whatever. Find what works for you. Because the great thing is, this time of year, or actually every time of year, when you know what the hot colors are, you're going to be seeing not only the exact version, but all sorts of variations. Dark colors, light colors, medium tones, metallics. Now that's something else I want you to think about, is how you can bring in metallics in your wardrobe. We're seeing a lot of mixed metals this season, and that is a fun way to put a great spin on your neutrals. In fact, one thing I will encourage you to do, if you have light hair, say you have blonde hair and fair skin, one way to bring that out, and something that I would totally encourage you to do because it's a fabulous look, is to wear a metallic version of your hair color in a jacket. Because when you wear it in a jacket, it's near your hair, or a top. But a jacket, I think, is better suited to a metallic. But it's near your hair, so your hair gets the effects. And it makes your hair look more luminous and gorgeous. And the metallic lights you up. You know, that's a secret. That is a great little tip, because the metallic brings light to your face. And that's your goal. With color, you want to bring light to your face. Now, when you wear color, I want you to take your body type into consideration. And if you say you carry more of your weight below the waist, you're a pear shape, or maybe you're an hourglass or an apple, You're a little bit bigger, and so you want to use color that's slimming. You've opted for black, but you know what? After today, I want you to opt for something else. So ask yourself, what else could I wear? Well, let's go with another dark. Dark brown, chocolate brown, taupe, charcoal gray, navy, burgundy, deep olive, forest green. There are a lot of different colors that you could wear in place of black that are going to give you the dark, slimming effects that you want, but it's not going to drag you down like black does. And something I want you to take note of, and I talked to my clients about this, and I've had some really interesting feedback from them. Black, as slimming as it can also be visually heavy. Now let me explain. Say you have fair skin and fair hair, so you're light overall. I talk a lot about intensity of color, which is something that's definitely important to consider. But if you're light overall and you wear, say you have on a vibrant top, say you have on a red top, and then you wear black pants and black shoes, one thing, first of all, I'll say is that black and red can be a great combination, but it can also look very matronly. I've seen a lot of women default to that. They wear black. What color are you going to put with it? Well, red, of course. No, does not always work. And in fact, it can make you look older, can make you look frumpy, and it's not going to necessarily be your best color. In fact, you can drag yourself down by wearing that combination as opposed to just wearing solid black, which sounds odd, but notice when you see somebody wearing that, how it looks. But something that, again, getting back to what I've noticed with black being visually heavy. Blonde hair, fair skin, you wear black pants, black shoes, and a vibrant top. What happens is the eye is drawn down. It's not drawn to your face and lifted up. And it brings you down. You look heavier. You look bottom heavy. And so especially if you're wide through the hips, maybe you're pear-shaped, you're heavy through the thighs, that can visually bring you down or visually pull you down and make you look bigger than you are. So, yeah, black can make you look bigger, believe it or not. Now, I want you to notice that because honestly, when I first noticed that on somebody, I thought, no, that can't be true. Black is a recessive color. It recedes. It makes you look smaller and slimmer. Not always. Not always. So take note and think about what you could wear instead. Maybe a charcoal gray would be better. And what I want you to consider doing is playing with your shoe color. I recently cleaned out the closet of a client, and she was so over black. She was so liberated when she said, I want you to take everything black out of my closet. Now, honestly, she didn't have that much black clothing, but she had a lot of black shoes. And I took everything. She wanted me to take it. I took it. I'm donating it. Somebody else will get some great use out of it. But it freed her up. And that just goes to show how it can drag you down because you don't really want to wear it, but it becomes a should. And then you put it on, and you don't really feel great about yourself. It's not energizing. It's not uplifting. It drags you down emotionally. It drags you down visually. And that can be kind of depressing. So think about how you can bring color into your wardrobe. Now, I can't leave you today without telling you how to wear black. I'm not going to tell you to completely banish black from your wardrobe. I will recommend that you give it some thought if you know it's not your best color. But I'm also a big believer of using what you have. And so if you have a closet filled with black and you don't have a bank account filled with money, what are you going to do? You're going to make it work. Now, here's how. Find let's say your Fab 4 and bring those in. We'll count black, say we're going to use, black is not going to be one of your Fab 5, but for all intents and purposes, we're going to count this. We're going to count it as one right now. And I'll get back to what I mean by that. But you want to have 2 core neutrals. Say you have black and tan, and then you have 3 brights. What you want to do is use your 2 core neutrals as pants, jackets, shoes. And then you want to have your 3 brights. You want to make sure that your 3 brights are your best brights. And maybe they're a little bit more muted. Maybe they're a little bit more vibrant. That is going to depend on your personal coloring and how colors work on you. So when you put them all together, what you want to do is you want to make sure, first of all, that you're not pairing black with a color that creates a harsh contrast. You don't want it to be too intense for you, because whatever you pair black with, if you say your coloring is soft overall and you pair black with a really intense bright, it's going to overwhelm you. It's not going to flatter you. What you want to do is you want to scale the color back a little bit. It's okay, I'm going to wear black, but maybe I'm going to wear like my shirt, like a mint green. Or maybe I'm going to wear like African violet or something that's softer, that's more flattering to my personal skin tone. Because when you wear black with something that's not as flattering or too harsh for you anyway, it just makes it more harsh. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people realize that, but take note. And I worked with a client recently who I told her to have her husband take pictures. She always wore black pants. She had a habit of wearing a lot of neutrals with her black pants, which didn't bring much color to her face. And her husband took a picture of her wearing black pants and a gray top. It was fine. It wasn't outstanding. It wasn't the worst thing she could have worn. But then what he did was he took a picture of her wearing caramel-colored pants, which brought out her hair color. And then she wore a beautiful teal blouse, which brought out her eye color. You know what happened? She compared those two pictures side by side, and there was a world of difference. She said, I am a believer. And he couldn't believe the difference. Now, it's one thing to talk about color, but it's another thing to go out there and experience it for yourself. So tomorrow, or this afternoon, when you go to get dressed, notice how the color, not only the color itself, but how the combination works for you. Now, getting back to the Fab Five, the Fabulous Five, I should say, your 2 core colors and your 3 wow colors. How I want you to use those. That is going to be the core of your wardrobe. And when you start with the core and you work your way out, and you know with your 2 neutrals and your 3 accent colors or your 3 wow colors, everything is going to work together. Your brown pants, say like mine, brown, light brown, dark brown. It's going to work with my hazel, it's going to work with my turquoise, my fuchsia, my purple. But what I can also do is take the turquoise, fuchsia, and purple and mix those together to bring in more color. Now, backing up, you want to make sure that you have 3 colors that coordinate with each other, as well as look great with your neutrals. And if they're your best colors, your best wow colors, I'm getting so excited about this. And you coordinate those with your hair color and your eye color, it's only going to make you look better. So think about what colors can be personalizing to you. One thing I don't think many women realize is that when they repeat their own personal coloring, it doesn't just look good on them, but it personalizes their look. They are enhancing their eyes or enhancing their hair. It's not just wearing a color that doesn't interact with anything on your body. And so that's a great key to think about. When you see somebody and you think, wow, that color looks fabulous on her, I think I'll wear that. I want you to stop and ask yourself, is that the right color for me? Does that work with my skin tone? Does that work with my eye color? Does that work with my hair color? And if the answer is no, find your best version of it. If I looked at somebody who had strawberry blonde hair and really fair skin and said, hey, she's wearing chartreuse, I think I'll wear chartreuse. And then I put it on and it washes me out, I'm going to feel like, not going to feel good. It's going to make me feel that something's wrong with me. And I know that because I've experienced that before. And I've talked to many, many women who have experienced that as well. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just not the right color for you. You need to find what works for you. So get away from the comparison. Actually, there are many, many, many reasons that we will cover at a later date about why you shouldn't compare yourself. But stop and ask yourself, Is it the right color for me, the right cut for me? What's going to bring out me? Because the real key to looking your best is playing up your assets. I like to say bring out your assets and your attributes. It's not just about saying, hey, I think I'll wear a certain color today. It's about saying, hey, what's my hair color? What's my skin tone? What's my eye color? What's my body type? What's great about me? That when I wear a certain color or a certain shape or wear something a certain way, it's going to take what's great and make it even better. That's where you look like $1,000,000. It's not about trying to look like anybody else. It's about trying to be the best version of you possible. So I want you to feel liberated by this because it's not about following the rules. It's really just about knowing what the guidelines are and putting your own spin on it and trusting your intuition. Now, color is a powerful tool, and it actually is the first thing that people notice about you. So color can send a great message. But when you wear black each and every day, it's going to get boring. And it's not going to get you excited about getting dressed. So think about how when you add in color, how it can make a difference for you and how it can help you to transform your wardrobe and transform your life. I know when I get up and I put on color like I did today, I have on red jeans, a mint green shirt, a navy striped blazer. I love it. Like I can't, if I feel depressed, I just have to look down at my outfit. It's exciting and it's just fun to wear color. Now, I will say if you are afraid of color, or let's change afraid to maybe intimidated or just slightly shy of color. Start out small. Wear an accessory, put on a great shirt, scarves. Scarves are so hot this spring. I didn't wear one. I had one on earlier today. But they're so hot this spring, and they're a great way to bring in a little bit of color around your face and help you just to pop your look. Now, we have a great question from one of our viewers. She asks, what's your go-to color that is sure to make you feel gorgeous? Thank you, Julianne, for watching and for asking that question. That's a fabulous question. My go-to color is turquoise. Can you see it? I love this color. And actually, personal story, I got married in this past December to an awesome husband. And our colors were peacock blue and silver. These were our wedding colors. And it was interesting because when planning the wedding, of course, I wanted it to be very personalized. And that's I'll look at that color and there's just something about it. It is so saturated and just perfectly balanced. It just makes me happy. And my sister happened to have a pillow in that exact color. And I saw it, I'm like, oh my gosh, that is it. That is it. And so that became our color. We had beautifully designed invitations all around that color. Everything was that, well, I shouldn't say everything was that color. My dress was certainly not that color, but we used that color in many ways in the wedding. And it was perfect. It just made me happy. And then when I painted my office, it's not quite that shade. It's more of a Tiffany blue, but so I wanted something a little bit lighter. I felt that was too rich. So it's one of those colors that makes me happy. So I want you to find your color that makes you happy. Find your happy spot and see how you can bring it in, because it will change your life. Actually, I worked with a client the other day, and she and I were creating her wardrobe strategy and talking about her fabulous 5 colors. And what was so interesting, the colors that we came up with, very personalized to her. It was a caramel color, a color that we were calling grayish. It was kind of a combination of gray and beige. Beautiful neutral, perfect for her. And I'm hoping she's going to find a lot of it this season. But we also blended in coral, a version of turquoise, more of like a robin's egg blue. And then there was a third color. I can't remember what it was. I think it was a sort of like African violet, like a pale lavender. But what was so fascinating is when I had walked into her home, I noticed the pillows on the couch and commented and said they were beautiful, and they're very whimsical, which was one of her style words, and they went along with her style. But as I left, I looked at those pillows again and I said, there are your 3 wow colors. And she freaked out for a minute. She was like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. But I said, those are the colors that you're drawn to. Those are the colors that make you happy. And those are the colors that look best on you. How cool is that? You know, it's pretty cool when you can surround yourself with color. Actually, I had an interesting experience the other day. I had a new client who happens to be one of my office mates, and she and I are always in each other's offices chatting. And I was in her office yesterday showing her color palette, and I held up what I call her skin enhancer. This is my skin enhancer, meaning it's the closest match to my skin tone. I held up her skin enhancer, and I realized she had painted her walls in her skin enhancer. How cool is that? She had no idea, but it was so interesting to see how she was innately drawn to the same color as her skin tone. And then she's surrounded by her skin enhancer, which is going to make her look great. So when you surround yourself with your best colors, it's powerful. So think about what colors make you happy. What do you want to wear? It's interesting with me with the mint green because it's a color that I've always loved, but I've never really worn. But for some reason this season, I guess because I've seen a lot of it, I've just been drawn to it. And as I walk by a store, I notice. So I have a jacket in it. I have a couple of tops in it. Who knows? I've actually considered mint green jeans, but I'm not quite sure I'm ready for that. My daughter wants a pair, but I'm not sure I'm going there just yet. Because of my body type, I feel that I need to wear darker colors on bottom. Now, I do wear white jeans, but mint green, not sure. I'll have to kind of play with that. But that's a great example. Know what's right for you. And try it. Don't be afraid to experiment. But if you walk out of the fitting room and you feel like, oh my gosh, I would never, ever wear this, trust that intuition. Because that's your guide. That's going to help you understand what to wear and help you understand how to wear it. The worst thing you could do is to walk out of the fitting room and ignore your own intuition and listen to everybody else. Because every time you put that garment on, chances are you are not going to leave the house in it. Trust me. Julianne, I bet you probably agree. Because it does not, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work, and every fiber of your being is telling you, no, no, no. And if everybody else is saying yes, 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 you need to say stop. Enough. And trust yourself. They don't know who you are. You know who you are. And so when you do work with a style professional, you need to make sure that they know who you are and that they can help you dress you for you and not try to put something on you that's not you. And I've seen, unfortunately, a lot of salespeople do that. I've been in stores shopping with clients, and I've seen a lot of salespeople come out and say, oh my gosh, that looks amazing. And I just want to say, you know what? The hem's not right. It's not hitting her at the right place. X, Y, and Z is wrong. That's a no. Take it off. And I don't mean to be rude, but I certainly do it in a tactful way. But I get a little bit sassy when I'm on camera. But when I'm with my clients, I'm definitely very tactful, but I want them to understand, well, here's what's wrong with it. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. It just means it's not the right garment for you. Yes, that's right. Somebody commented, Amnon commented, thank you, Amnon, and said they are not going to be there later when you wear it. That's right. It's just going to be you. And you are going to be the one that has to show up and wear that garment all day, every day. Not every day, but all day long. And when you walk around all day long in something that's not really you, how's that going to make you feel? It's going to make you feel disconnected from who you really are. You're not going to be in a powerful place. You're going to feel like, I can't wait to go take this jacket off. No, I love this jacket. But if I were wearing something that I didn't like, you'd be uncomfortable in your clothes and uncomfortable in your own skin. So think about that and think about how what you're wearing now feels. Now, Julianne asks, what do you think is the biggest color mistake women make? Well, honestly, I think that there are several, but I think I've already kind of touched on it a little bit. And I think that is where, Okay, in a nutshell, it is wearing black by default and not with intention. It is pulling on black because you don't know what else to wear. In fact, I chatted with my mom earlier today, and she's so funny because she and I had gone somewhere. I went to Sunday school with her one day. And I'm not here to criticize anybody, but I'm always noticing. I like to notice, and then I start seeing patterns and, different things emerge, and then that's how I can help people understand what the biggest issues are. So I'm sitting in Sunday school with her, and I'm looking around, and I'm realizing black pants, black pants, black pants. I can't remember the exact number, but I want to say maybe 19 out of 25 women were wearing black pants. And there were maybe 3 that black was actually a color that looked great on them. Maybe 3. And I just thought, how interesting that so many people would wear black pants, especially to Sunday school. I go to Sunday school and I dress up. I like to wear a dress. Every once in a while I'll wear pants, but I just thought that was interesting. But black pants are such a default. They're such a default. And I think that is the biggest color mistake people make. Because if they realize that when you wear your black pants, what are you going to wear? Chances are you're wearing your black shoes. And if you're lighter colored up here in your hair, in your face, and you create that visual bottom-heavy look, it is dragging you down. And you are not leveraging the power of color. If you were to shift that and change the black to something that's more personalized and more flattering, the effect would be phenomenal. Night and day. Night and day. And the cool thing is, that new neutral is going to be just as versatile as black. That's why I call it your new black. Wear it every way you would wear black. In a purse, shoes, jacket, trench coat, overcoat, winter coat. You want to wear something that looks great on you. Wear something that pulls out your hair color. Not that makes you look like everybody else. And I think that's one of the big powerful statements that I want to make, is that I want to encourage you to wear color to show off your true colors, not to hide from everybody. Show off who you are and be all you can be. And the words I want to leave you with today are, you are beautiful. Don't you forget it. This is Mary Michelle with One Chic Mama TV. I'll see you next week. Bye.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. Our weekly lineup of call-in programs includes Computers 2K Now with Amnon Nissan, Sundays 9 a.m. till noon. Carrie's Psychic Cafe with Carrie Silkowski, Sundays 8 till 9 p.m. Health Inn with Debbie Bruck, Mondays 11 a.m. till noon. Breaking Free with Marilyn Shannon, Mondays 8 till 9 p.m. One Chic Mama with Mary Michelle, Wednesdays 4 till 5 p.m. Reawaken Your Brilliance with Julie Seibert, Wednesdays 9 till 10 p.m. And if you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it at www.nissancommunications.com. Sponsored by ThatVidBlasterGuy.com, CarolinaApparel.com, and DeltaForce.net.